Sylvester Stallone's journey is not just a Hollywood success story. It's the ultimate tale of grit, determination, and belief in oneself. Born on July 6, 1946 in Hell's Kitchen, New York, Stallone's life began with hardship. During his birth, complications with forceps caused partial paralysis of his face, leaving him with slurred speech and his iconic drooping expression. As a child, he faced relentless bullying for his appearance and speech. His parents' marriage was unstable, and Stallone spent much of his early years shuffling between foster care and schools. He struggled academically, was expelled multiple times, and felt like an outsider. But despite these challenges, Stallone carried within him a burning dream, to one day make it as an actor. When he grew older, Stallone moved to New York City to chase that dream, but life there was brutally tough. Casting directors constantly rejected him. Some said his look was wrong, others said his voice was too strange. He couldn't land roles and often went hungry. He worked odd jobs, cleaned cages at a zoo, and even slept in bus stations when he couldn't afford rent. At his lowest point, desperate to survive, he accepted a role in a softcore adult film, earning just $200. To make things worse, he was forced to sell his beloved dog, Butkus, for $25 outside a liquor store because he couldn't afford to feed him. Stallone later admitted that selling his dog was the most heartbreaking moment of his life. But instead of giving up, Stallone made a decision that would change everything. If Hollywood wouldn't give him a role, he would create one for himself. One night, after watching an underdog boxer named Chuck Wepner fight Muhammad Ali and almost last the entire match, Stallone became inspired. He sat down and, in a furious burst of creativity, wrote the screenplay for Rocky in just 3.5 days. The script told the story of an unknown small-time boxer who gets a once-in-a-lifetime chance at glory. When Stallone showed it to producers, they loved the script and offered to buy it. Some offers went as high as $350,000. But there was a catch. They didn't want Stallone to play the lead. They wanted a well-known actor instead. For a man who was broke, hungry, and nearly homeless, $350,000 was life-changing money. But Stallone refused. He told them, "If I can't play Rocky, then the story is useless." That act of faith, of saying no to money and yes to belief, became the defining moment of his career. Eventually, the producers relented, but gave him a very low budget, just a little over $1 million, to make the movie. Stallone finally bought back his dog Butkus, though the man who owned him now demanded $15,000. Stallone paid it, and Butkus went on to appear in the film alongside him, symbolizing his struggles and loyalty. When Rocky was released in 1976, the world was stunned. The film captured hearts everywhere, earning $225 million at the global box office and winning 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Stallone, who just months earlier couldn't afford food, suddenly became a household name. Rocky wasn't just a movie, it was Stallone's life story on screen, and people connected with its authenticity. But Stallone didn't stop at Rocky. He turned his underdog story into a franchise, making Rocky 2, 3, 4, and beyond. He then created another cultural icon, John Rambo, in First Blood. With the Rambo series, Stallone transformed into the ultimate 1980s action hero, standing alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger as one of the biggest box office draws in the world. By the late 80s and early 90s, he was earning up to $20 million per film, becoming one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood history. He bought mansions, luxury cars, and invested in real estate, amassing massive wealth. Of course, like every great journey, Stallone faced setbacks. Some of his films in the 90s failed, and critics wrote him off as finished. But just like Rocky, Stallone never stayed down. In 2006, he revived the Rocky franchise with Rocky Balboa, which silenced critics and proved he still had that fighting spirit. In 2010, he launched the Expendables series, bringing together the greatest action stars of all time, and it became another global success. Today, Sylvester Stallone's net worth is estimated at around $400 million. But beyond the money and fame, his true legacy is the inspiration he gives millions worldwide. His life is proof that no matter how many times people tell you that you're not good enough, if you believe in yourself, fight through the failures, and never give up, you can achieve greatness. Stallone turned every rejection, every insult, and every struggle into fuel for his success. From a bullied child with a facial paralysis to one of the most legendary actors, writers, and filmmakers in Hollywood, Sylvester Stallone's journey shows us that success is never about how you start. It's about how hard you're willing to fight to finish. And today, he's a symbol of resilience, strength, and the underdog spirit. That's why his story is not just inspiring, it's legendary.